That's it. Woo!
Great job.
Congratulations on getting this far. You've made it into the room. It's going well. We're doing good. Right, so this is the annual, I say annual, this is the second time we've done it. This is the second annual Summer in the City filmmaking panel that we've done. Last year, we did a panel where we spoke a lot at you about ourselves, and then at the end, we asked for Q&A, and like we had like 5 minutes to answer questions, and like that was just like, didn't get enough time. So we thought this year, we're gonna mix it up a bit more and just make it all about you guys. So it's all, I've been tweeting and stuff saying, bring questions. So I hope to God that you've brought questions. Otherwise, it could be a very slow hour and 20 minutes. Quickly, I'll just introduce us in case you've wandered in thinking that you were coming to the Dan and Phil meetup. Lock the doors. I am PJ Laguori. My channel's KickThePj, and that is where I make films. I like to tell stories and about crazy, surreal things and characters and creatures and situations and all sorts of stuff like that. And these are the guys that I make the films with. So to my right is Sophie Newton.
Hello.
To my far left in the red shirt is Jamie Swarbrick.
Hello.
And to my immediate left is Louis Grant. And yeah, we make films together. We've been doing it for we met like 4 years ago around this time at university when we first all went to university, and we immediately gelled and just started making videos for the fun of it. And then we realized, hey, we're actually not too bad at this, so should we just keep doing it? And now that's where we are right now. So I think we should just get into it. Let's just start getting some questions. So if you have any questions about, if you haven't got a question and you'd like to think of what to ask, anything about creating videos, it doesn't have to purely be on filmmaking. It could be about, I don't know, university, it can be about anything you want. It's not strictly just about filmmaking. So yeah, let's just do it. Let's get a question. I see a hand. Oh God, who's? Okay. I see a hand right at the back. The first hand that went up is that person waving right now, right at the back. So yeah. Okay, sure. Okay. Oh, we've got a microphone coming down to you.
Disney's got the microphone.
Cool, but thank you.
But she won't run.
I won't run. Yes.
Cool. Okay. We're getting that. Cool. Great. Awesome. What's the question?
Where did you get the... Oh, wow. Okay. Where did you get the idea for Colour Bandits? And I love you, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. So the idea for Colour Bandits... sorry.
No.
It's quite a funny story, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a funny story. Colour Bandits were just kind of an accident. A very, misunderstood accident. So it started with... this guy called Jack Burke, who worked at the YouTube studio in London, the YouTube space, and he wanted to put on not a competition, it was a competition. He got together a few filmmakers and paired them up and said, make a film, make a music video. Okay, I've explained this awfully. Let's start again. He grouped together a musician and a filmmaker. So myself and Jamie was the filmmaker, I was the musician, and he said, make a film. And we thought, okay, that sounds cool. So they brought us in for a day, and they had all this great equipment, and they had this super slow motion camera. And he said, yeah, make a film using, well, we thought he said, make a film exclusively using the slow motion camera. What he actually meant was make a film using anything you want, and we just completely misunderstood that. And so we thought, okay, so what can we make with a slow motion camera? And we just thought, well, powder paint looks quite cool in slow-mo. And then from there, it was just we just sat for a day just writing ideas, didn't we?
Yeah, it just came out.
It just came out. I think we started developing what a color bandit even is. And then I made a song about it with Louis' help on the violin. There's a bit of violin in there.
Oh no, don't advertise that.
No? Okay.
It's awful.
Well, I thought it was quite good.
Thank you.
So then we just made the video. The video itself was quite It's quite a fun day, wasn't it? Like just a day in Google, just throwing powder paint at me.
There's
Yeah,
still powder paint at
yeah.
Google. If you ever go there, just look at the lights and you'll see lots of pink
Like
powder paint.
purple.
And that's
Yeah,
my
purple.
work, so.
Yeah. So that was fun. So yeah, the idea, like, it was an accident, I guess. Like one of the funnest accidents I've ever had. That sounds weird. Okay, thank you very much. Let's get another question. Let's bring it down the front. I'm just going to make you keep going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. There's a hand right at the front in the stripy t-shirt. You. Stripy t-shirt. What's up? Where are you from?
Do you have any advice for young people who want to take up filmmaking as a career, but like don't know where to start and don't really get taken seriously?
Okay, so advice for like kind of someone who wants to get into it.
I mean, the whole thing about being taken seriously is interesting because I think a lot of the time we don't actually get taken that seriously even now. Like, it's kind of, I think for YouTube it's something quite different to traditional filmmaking in that sense, and people still don't quite understand what it actually is.
Yeah. So in terms of like, first of all, getting started is just like any ideas you have, just write them down, any ideas you have at all, and just make them. It doesn't matter how silly they are, how stupid they are, whether that you think they might work or not work. You just got to just make them, and then at the end you can judge whether it worked or not. And it's all just a big learning experience. And then eventually you'll have all this stuff you've made, and from there you can start like showing it to people, and people they will. I mean, they'll take you seriously. Like the more like you do it and stuff. So yeah, my advice is just do it. Just start making stuff. Just make lots of stuff.
Yeah, I think like the more you make, because the industry at the minute is quite hard to get into. It's not obviously an easy thing to do, and the more you have there, you can work out, like PJ just said, what you're good at and what works, and then just pursue that, basically.
But I think
helps.
like that's where YouTube can come in as well. That obviously, like the fact that what we do and what PJ does isn't something that necessarily like someone who does very traditional filmmaking in a massive team will see as being traditional filmmaking. But I think that YouTube gives people a chance to do filmmaking without needing to, work their way up through the ranks of some massive production company.
Definitely.
They can start something themselves.
Yeah, go YouTube. Woo! Cool. Thank you very much for your question. Would you like to pick people? Make it non-biased towards
You're
me?
standing right next to someone.
Yeah, maybe the person right next to you. Yeah, how about that? Hello.
Hi. Would you ever make like graphic novels or like short stories with like pictures?
Would I ever make? Did you say graphic novels and short stories?
Novels.
I would. I think I've debated it once. I've wanted to like once, but then I kind of just thought that's not like on the highest list of my priorities personally. Like it would be super cool, but I don't know the first thing about making a graphic novel, and I don't know if I could do it coherently. The thing I think I'm good at. Oh God, am I talking about what I think I'm good at? Oh no, it's just like telling a story like in like a moving form, I guess. And like I think in stationary pictures, you'll like see all the flaws and stuff. Whereas when it's a moving film, like you forget about the flaw that was like 1 minute ago. So yeah, thank you.
Ooh, lots of questions.
Yeah, do you guys want to pick someone? Anyone? Yes.
Does Jamie want to pick?
Someone at the back.
Someone at the back. We're going to the back.
Black t-shirt.
Black t-shirt at the back.
That one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. The one with 2 eyes. And hands. But
What do you think is the most important thing for a group of filmmakers to focus on a project?
The story.
The story.
Would definitely be, like, we've had lots of instances where we like aesthetically get carried away with certain things and we neglect the story, and then we've had a situation before we got on set and we hadn't got an ending and we were like, what do we do?
What was that one?
I don't,
Oh, okay.
it doesn't matter, but
I think it was
like,
Smoky Saloon. That was
Oh
good.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
it was
we didn't know
Smoky
how to
Saloon.
end it.
Was
I
a
didn't
bit
know whether to
chaotic.
name drop it because I didn't
That's
want to
all right.
ruin the whole
It's
thing.
fine,
But,
it's
okay.
fine.
But
This is open panel.
But yeah, definitely, like, aesthetically, obviously, the story is what's the main thing about it. You should always focus on that with a film.
Mm-hmm.
And then everything else is a bonus. So,
Like,
it's not about the best camera, it's not about the best this, it's
Yes.
about what you do with
The
it.
aesthetic of it can help tell that story, but it shouldn't like be the main focus. I think like, yeah, it can assist with it, but I definitely get down. What kind of story do you want to tell first? Yeah. Do you guys have anything to add, or are you happy with that?
Also, crew welfare is a big one.
Crew welfare.
Don't die on shoot or any of that.
Yeah, that makes things difficult. Okay, thank you for your question. We've got lots of hands. Everyone just shout out your question all at once.
Kid with blue shirt. I can see him there.
Which shirt? Oh, over here we've got a
Put your
boy
hand
in a
back
blue
up.
shirt. If you come
Stand
round. Yeah, yeah,
There you go.
yeah, over there.
I'm just gonna stand.
Thank you very much.
Whoever's first.
Cool, okay. Hello.
Hello. So obviously one of the main aspects of your films, or all videos really, is the colour. How did you come about? Did you get inspiration from something, or did you just stumble into it?
It was a stumble. It was more of a fall actually, more of tripping over my own shoelaces and just like head first falling into it. It was just something that we've gradually kind of like got a bit better at and got a bit like more of an interest in and stuff.
We just got curious because like we got some like daylight softbox lights and like white light's kind of boring. So it's like I just thought we bought some like crepe paper. It wasn't even proper like gel lighting. It's not even really built for it, but it just fit the box perfectly. So I just bought some colours off like an art shop.
Yeah.
And just got some duct tape and stuck it onto it, and then there you go. You got coloured light.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of once you've got coloured lights, you can start seeing like what's complementary colours to what other colours kind of thing, like blue and yellow. If you've ever watched the film Drive, that film is pretty much all like blue and yellow kind of light, and like. We get a lot of influences from other films.
Yeah.
And like, I can't think of anything. My mind's gone blank. But
on colour.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of that? I'll pick up from there. Yeah. Like it's color like is now like a pretty big thing to us. Like even like when we were back at uni, we were making like silly like crazy sketches. It made things really interesting and almost eerie because we liked doing like quite dark things. So there's this one where it's just like this humanoid fly comes to visit PJ claiming that he's the richest man in the universe. And we just pumped a load of green color in there and like it just made it so immediately ominous. And then like when the fly transforms, we pumped a load of red in there and it immediately like changes the mood of the film. So I think color, I think we just like to use that as almost like a help as a storytelling device as well. So.
And I guess also like the fact that all of this started in a uni household without particularly interesting walls. So when you don't have a great backdrop, using coloured lighting can instantly make that more interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
And this was a pretty rough uni house.
Yeah.
As well, like.
It was awful.
This was not a glamorous setting.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, thank you very much. So there was this girl here with the hair. She's got she's just
With the hair.
That's the one. That's the one. Hello.
Hello. How does it know to feel that your work is appreciated all around the world?
It's great. It feels great. Like it's when you're making it, you don't even think about like the end, like what people are gonna when people are seeing it and like and all of that. Like I don't know. I mean, for me that's kind of been happening like because I've been doing this for like 7 years, ish. So it's kind of been a gradual thing for me, but then I met you guys when like I was, I guess, sending my videos out to I think 30,000 subscribers. So when we started making stuff together, how did you guys feel like when knowing there was such a big audience watching the videos?
For me, I don't think it was really relevant in
No.
some. Not that we don't appreciate it, but like I think that we kind of initially we sort of made stuff that made us laugh. I mean, like we'll just watch something. I think this is really funny. Usually we would kind of get drunk or something, and then something would be said, and it would kind of escalate that way. If I'm being honest, but yeah, like the audience thing was never really got into it until I think when we left uni almost is when we started to really realise the scale of what we were doing. So, but it's a very cool thing.
Yeah, it still blows my mind how many people. I mean, like just all of you in this room right now is like crazy. I can't. If I do a quick head count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'll leave it till later. So it feels great. It feels really great. You guys happy with that?
Good answer.
Thank you. Good question. Girl with the hat right next to you.
Hello. Hello. How did you find time with university and studying to do films? Because I'm going next year and I kind of like...
You find time.
You'll find time.
You'll have a lot of spare time on your hands.
Okay.
And it helps keep you sane as well, I think.
Yeah.
Majorly, yeah.
I mean, if it's what you're interested in, you want to do that. Like, I mean, to be fair, we studied like film-related courses, so to us, it made sense to be doing that outside of uni. But yeah, I think if you're really interested in it, then you'll definitely like. You'll always want to be doing it. That's the thing. So like when I wasn't doing university work, which wasn't very often, if I'm honest, I'd be making videos. I neglected. This isn't advice, but I neglected a lot of my uni work to make videos because I cared more about actually creating stuff than listening to a 2-hour lecture on the color grey.
But don't do that.
But don't do that because university is still important.
Concentrate.
I was just a bad student in my eyes. So thank you very much.
Should we go round the edge?
Yeah, should we go? Yeah.
To drag you around.
Thank you very much.
There's a gentleman down here who has his hand up.
Yeah? Hello.
Hi. How tempted are you to make series of videos? I know, PJ, you've done a couple of Wiggles ones, but other than that...
So yeah, the idea of doing a series has always really excited me because like one of my like favorite things is like the characters and recurring characters and crazy recurring characters and like how they work and stuff. So like obviously like when we make a film, like sometimes if it's like depending on what the film is, we sometimes think, can we throw like another character in there from something else? Like when we did Forever Train, we thought we have to put the Fly in there. We have to put like I mean who else? Like one of the Smoky Saloon monsters. We put one of those in there. So yeah, I would like to do a series. I'd really like to do a series. Yeah.
It's the idea, really, isn't it? Sort of thinking
Yeah.
of. We've always wanted to do a series. That would be the ideal thing to do.
Yeah.
We've had a few ideas, but we never, because it obviously needs a big budget, so we can't really.
Yeah, I think it's just finding the right time.
Yeah.
When the time comes, then we'll give it a go, I think. But yeah, I just love recurring characters. Yeah, thank you very much. Ooh. Should we like
go nearby? Go
somewhere
Be kind.
nearby. Somewhere. If we go around and then and stop. The girl with the red hair. Yes, you. Hello.
Hi. Do you script your videos?
As in the more filmic ones, or the slurpy ones? Slurpy ones being anything that's like kind of more like vloggy, or do you mean like
the actual films you make, not the vlogs? Because I know.
Yeah. Those are pretty scripted. Apart from when like if there's a bit where we think, okay, we know who we want to play that, and we know that they'll be great at it anyway. So let's like get a general idea of what we want them to say, but then let them improv for like 10 minutes. So generally everything's pretty tight in terms of we need to know what we're going to be shooting on the day to make sure we allow enough time to shoot all of that. So yeah.
I mean that has like evolved quite a bit, hasn't it? Though since the uni days, because initially we'd get like a plain text document with a few lines, PJ saying this happens, this happens.
Horse comes into house, starts shooting people. People start dancing because they got shot, and that was it. And then we made a video from that. So
whereas now it's like proper formatted scripts, a bit more planning goes into it.
Yeah, and like it's a really important process because like at the minute we're trying to make a 10-minute film and we wrote a 20-page script and we were like, well, we can't make that in 10 minutes. So it was a really important learning process to know how long a script is in terms of pages and how that correlates to like minutes and stuff. So yeah, it's really important. So yeah, we script a lot. Thank you. Yeah, keep working your way down. I'm sorry. That was so just like
there's
that was so.
There's someone with an incredible BMO bag.
BMO bag? Oh wow.
BMO is literally staring at.
Oh my god.
My god.
BMO.
Yep. That's a good.
Cool. Hello.
Oh hi. As someone who has to turn out a lot of work, how do you deal with artist block when it comes to deadlines and stuff?
So like me personally, my process is to, I think we'll all probably agree with this, is free writing. It's a really kind of liberating thing where you just like, if you can't think of what to write, then just don't think about it and just write. Like cancel out the bit with where your brain is meant to help and just start writing, start typing, however you do it. And you'll come up with some pretty interesting stuff if you just let your hands do the work and like shut your brain off. And like from there, like obviously that doesn't make a story, but then you look back at it and you think, oh, that was an interesting concept that I came up with without even thinking. So yeah.
I think another way, because like with free writing for me personally, I find it quite difficult. So what I do is I just listen to music. A lot of time I listen to soundtracks and I just kind of go somewhere which I don't go, maybe just somewhere empty or just spacious, like a field. would be the ideal. And then just think, usually, just like daydream a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, usually the best ideas come to you when you're not even trying to think of an idea. Yeah. I mean,
in the shower?
In the shower, yes. Shower ideas.
Showers and trains. Get on a train.
Yeah, trains.
There's something about just moving while you're sat.
Yeah.
Gets the brain going.
There's some science behind why you think of ideas best in the shower.
Something to do with like positive ions going on
down,
it sort of
like
like messes up your brain.
Yeah. So take lots of showers.
Just shower all day.
Yeah, cool.
And then you'll be fine.
All right, thank you very much. Someone at the back? Okay, can we send you to the back? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, yeah, so the person nearest to you with their hand up at the back? Yeah, hello.
Hello. I was just wondering, like, out of all the videos that you've ever made, which has ended up as least like you expected?
The least like I expected.
That's a good question.
That is a good question, actually, because generally, like, I have a pretty good idea of how like it could turn out, but there's definitely one that didn't go in the direction that we wanted it to go, and that was Cyber Party. Cyber Party. We wanted to make that really dark, like so dark, because it was meant to be about teaching people about internet safety. So we thought, what if we make something that really kind of like just turns the whole idea on its head and makes you feel like almost unsafe at a part, and then it quickly saves itself at the end. But yeah, the initial, like all our initial ideas were so fun and stuff, but they just didn't happen for certain reasons. So
well, at the time, we were very inspired by the This Is It collective, who did like Don't Hug Me and Scared, and we loved that how it was initial. You watch it and it's so friendly and you're really engrossed in it, and suddenly there's guts on the table.
Yeah, it just switches.
We're kind of really inspired by that, their structure of it.
Yeah.
But then we were told, no,
yeah.
you can't have guts in a video.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when it comes to internet safety, you have to just handle it correctly, and we spent so long just trying to make sure we got it just right, and yeah, our initial ideas just didn't happen, but yeah. Thank you very much.
Should we go round?
Yeah, maybe round the back, and like if you head behind those people, then we'll make our way back to the front afterwards. Cool. Yeah. So I mean, the person nearest to you with their hand up. I really have no idea how to select people. So thank you all for your questions in your minds. And hello.
When you were younger, like, did you know that you wanted to do this kind of thing when you were like make the films?
Make films and stuff. Well, I don't know really. Because when I would this is probably gonna be different for all of us, but when I was younger, like really young, like me and my sister would pretend like we would like films that we really loved. We would like reenact them and stuff. And like when I was younger, I thought I wanted to be an actor for some reason. Because I loved Jim Carrey and stuff. He was just like so funny. I thought, I want to be like that when I'm older. And then that kind of went away a bit, and I got interested in other things. But then when I was around 15, I started actually getting more interested again back into properly storytelling. And then from there, I think it got to about 17, and I was like, yeah, I totally want to try and pursue this. And then I went for it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you guys, when did you guys get interested in film and stuff? Have you always been?
No.
Are you interested in film?
We pretend to be, but.
For me, I didn't really get in. I actually didn't know if I wanted to do film when I studied at university. Personally, I didn't really think. I've always loved film. I've always preferred film to books, personally, which is a bad thing to say, but
it's personal preference, I think.
Yeah, I studied media at A levels, and I got an A, and I'd never got an A before, and then through that I studied film, and then just ended up at university. So, but it's a good thing to know now if you want to do it. It's good to think ahead, because you can be ahead of the game quite quickly.
Yeah, definitely. What about you guys? Any idea of when you were first interested in film, or? Because I mean, Jamie, when you came to university, I remember you weren't too sure what you wanted to do until we started working together. We just started making silly videos, and you actually got quite interested in camera.
I was into painting and drawing.
Yeah, exactly.
I was into fine art, and that's what I wanted to do at uni. But last minute, I changed my mind to film. And I remember I actually wanted to leave at many occasions, but I ended up staying. But it was weird because I enjoyed watching films and talking about them, and that's kind of something that if you're enthusiastic about it, you'll probably find something more in it, in that kind of makes sense. Because I was very enthusiastic about talking about it, but I actually had no idea how you actually went about making films. So I just went to uni, and that kind of paid off.
But I mean, like, what's interesting about that is I think for a lot of people there is that like one moment, like whenever it is, when you have some kind of experience and it just kind of feels right, and you think, oh, cool, people can actually do this and like make films, and that, you know, if you follow that, it'll lead to you having an interest in making films. So
definitely, yeah, cool. All right, thank you very much. So back in the middle. Maybe like work your way towards the front, and we'll go to the person on your left, nearest person to your left with their hand up. Oh, I think they put their hand down.
Need to go to the
right. Hello. Oh, no. Hello. Oh, the
Hello.
mic's getting passed around. Hello.
If you were to look back on any of your videos, and is there anything that specifically stands out that you might want to change, that maybe you didn't like it or you could make better?
Yeah, I mean, well, to be honest, I find that about like every video I make. There's always things that when I look back, I'm like, oh, why didn't I make that? Why didn't I do it like that? Why didn't I change the line to something like that? And like, so, I mean, one specifically, I don't know. I kind of wish the Forever Train had a bit more of an actual story rather than just like the madness. Like, but then, like, I don't know. I don't know, because then if you change it, it becomes something else. Like, it can literally, it can keep changing. So I don't know. I think when something's finished, maybe just say that's that. Otherwise, you turn into Star Wars and you start changing them and re-releasing them HD, SD. Like, I don't know. You just keep re-releasing them. Soon you'll get old KickThePj videos like with horrible CGI over them, where like take characters out and put CGI in their place. And so. I don't know, like maybe, there are things that I wish that I could have done differently, but generally, when a project's done with me, it's done. I don't go back to it. Do you guys kind of agree, like kind of, or...
I had a point just then, and then I thought you finished, and it's gone.
Oh, damn it.
I think one I would change would be Cyber Party.
Yeah.
That's the main one I would redo again if I could, I think. But, yeah.
I mean, I guess it is.
We probably shouldn't.
We really hate Cyber
We had
Party.
a great time on Cyber Party, but yeah.
Okay, fair enough, cool. Well, yeah, so thank you very much for your question. Laying into Cyber Party. If you keep working your way forward and just like, the yellow bow in the hair. Yeah, hello. Is it a bow?
Is that an ear?
Hi, yeah, it's kind of like a hair tie thing.
Oh,
Anyway.
cool.
I thought it was ears. I'm sorry, that's really bad.
Where did the name KickThePj come from?
Oh, it's not an interesting story. It's so when I was like 16 and like not very good at making films, I made the mistake of saying, I know nothing about films. Maybe I should start a production company. I didn't start a production company, but I started calling myself Kick the Turtle Productions because I liked Super Mario, like Kick the Turtle, you know, that kind of thing. And then I from that I thought this isn't like after a day I was like, well, that was stupid. And then I just thought I want to start a new YouTube channel. So then I started a YouTube channel under the name KickThePj. So it's really, I don't think it's an interesting story, but it has got a story. It's got like I guess a bit of advice from that, like something productions, like before you worry about whether you're productions or television, like so-and-so TV, like just make sure you know what you want to make first before you start like saying you're a production company, because that just made me look silly. One 16-year-old kid. So thank you very much for your question. Okay.
More this time.
More questions. So I mean, if you keep making your way forward, maybe to your right. Just her. Yeah. Hello.
Hi. I was wondering, when you're actually making a movie and when you're writing the script, how do you know that the script is finished, and how do you tell yourself that it's finished and actually go on to filming it without actually changing little details all the time?
Well, I guess I'll start. I suppose it's never really finished, is it? I mean, it's right up to when it's being shot, and even when it's being shot, it's still being changed. So I suppose it's only actually done when it's been shot and you can't go back and change it.
Definitely. Yeah, like I mean, because sometimes we put things off, like, oh, we'll this is placeholder for now. We'll come back to that later, and it gets to the point where like the whole script is placeholder, and we have to change the whole thing. We've used that word placeholder so much in the past few weeks because we're working on something at the minute, and so basically a script is finished like pretty much when you've shot it, because like things can always change, and then you can replace stuff with voiceover if you so wish. So yeah, it's truly like never finished. But yeah, stuff like not. stuff like the Forever Train, for example, like on our way to Pinewood for the day of the shoot, like I still didn't know how the conductor was meant to sound. We were like in the car and I was doing loads of stupid voices, and then I came to the one that I eventually did. And so stuff like that. Like sometimes we're quite ill prepared. We're not like a great group of filmmakers, like because we are. So if I'm honest, we are ill prepared on some things like that.
We definitely wing it would be the word.
Wing it. We're winging this right now.
Yeah,
really.
We didn't really. I think like with a script, you were. Oh, sorry. Did I just?
No, you go.
Don't forget.
This happens a lot.
Don't forget what you're about to say, please.
No, I was just going to say, like really, we never sort of think, oh, this is done. We sort of, when there's something we don't like, we'll go back and change it. It's when we feel comfortable with what we've got, then we just assume it's done. We never actually kind of sit down and say, this is ready. It's more like when we've gotten rid of all the stuff we don't like or think aren't working properly or something.
And it's also like, I guess you do have that, you have that shoot deadline approaching, so by then it's got to be done. So really, whatever state it's in at that point, it has to be shot. So that kind of forces you to, what stage it needs to get to, and you just make sure that it gets as close as humanly possible to that stage by the shoot.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your question.
Should we go
there's a guy just. We'll go in.
There's a lot of people.
In 1 second, there's a guy just here, just with the blue shirt. Hello.
Hello. You touched on budget a bit earlier. You've done a lot of sponsored videos recently and that kind of thing, and you've said that's because the budget enables you to like more creative things you want to do. Do you think a lack of budget is sort of prohibitive for smaller, more inexperienced filmmakers? And what kind of things can they do to overcome that?
Okay, good question. Thank you very much. Well, actually, that's very relevant to how we started, because when we were at uni, obviously we're uni students paying way too much to be there. So we didn't have loads of money anyway to start with. So we were kind of trying to make do with what we could. And I think our number one thing for that is cardboard, make things interesting with cardboard, and like what we were saying earlier, lighting and stuff. It
is all about sort of making do with what you've got.
Yeah.
So, we made a lot of beauty videos in our uni bedrooms and stuff, and it looks, when you look back, it's that's a uni bedroom, and I can recognise the white walls and that kind of location. It's you just have to sort of take that, and it's try and be more creative in your locations and such to.
I think there are pretty much any idea. You can take an idea that is probably far too big for the budget or the time or whatever that you've got, and you can take that and strip away. Anything that just that you can't do, and you strip all of that away, and what you're left with can still be something that you can actually go out and shoot. So I think it's just a matter of being realistic with knowing what your resources are and taking the idea that you really love to make and turning it into something you still love, but is just more realistic given the resources available.
Definitely. And eventually, when you get comfortable with it, you could start putting money into it. When we I guess in our second year of university, I was starting to put bits of money into our films, just £40 here, sometimes £100 on a bigger one. But and then, when we were approached by companies to make films, that seemed like a great opportunity to take these ideas that we would be doing anyway, but just on a bigger scale. How can we push ourselves and make something really interesting with more money put into it? So there are definitely ways to make films on nothing. Absolutely. I hope that helps. Unless Sophie, is there anything you want to?
Oh no, everyone's got theirs.
Okay.
They're
moving on.
I think we should go in
to the front.
Yeah, should we come over here to the front?
The grey YouTube shirt.
Grey YouTube shirt. Ali. Hello.
So one of the things I find really tricky about sort of working on sort of films on YouTube and stuff is sort of you work with your friends a lot, and that can be really tricky. And I was just wondering, how do you guys work with your friends? What are stories of when it's worked? What are stories of when it hasn't worked? And what advice do you give to people who, struggle sometimes to work with their friends?
Well, I guess first of all, you have to ask are your friends interested in doing that? We were just it was a very strange time in our lives where we just all happened to meet at the same time at the same place, university, all studying film. We all had this interest, so yeah, because at first we didn't start making things together because we knew we wanted to be a group of filmmakers. We just started because it was fun. So I think that having that element of just fun there really helps. Like if you can kind of make a production fun for them, like we were saying earlier, when there was an idea, we would just go for it that night. We wouldn't sit around like trying to plan it for too long. So I think that was definitely an element of fun. Like I don't know, I don't know if I can talk for you guys, but like, was that fun? Like kind of just saying, here's an idea, let's do it now. Like I'm gonna dress up as an old man and throw myself down the stairs. Let's do it. Like
it was definitely fun.
Yeah, that is something we did, by the
for
way.
You,
yep.
Really,
yeah,
that's quite at like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
that was as well.
Yeah, I did dress up as an old man and throw myself down the stairs.
And our neighbours hated us.
Yeah, they didn't really talk to us after that one.
Yeah,
that kind of crossed the line, I think.
Yeah.
But I think like with friends and stuff, if you, for example, have had experience of working with people and it's not working, then that just means that obviously it's not working and it's not. Because at university you are forced to work with people, and often you're forced to work with people who are slackers, who don't try, and like that's when you'll know when you're working with someone you want to work with, because you'll bounce off them, and that's the main thing, is that it's not a struggle to like convince someone what you're doing, or that you just literally just slot into place, and it's the most, usually that's something, because if that's in the way then you can't make a film. So yeah. It's just like you'll know. It's kind of like a subconscious thing almost.
But I think there will obviously be times when, as with any friendship, even when you're not working with people, when there will be arguments, and we do have arguments. But then I think the really important thing is that you recognise that what you're doing within the work context isn't necessarily personal. That although you're working with people and you're having fun, the times when it possibly isn't quite so fun or things go wrong, you just have to make sure that you can detach that from the friendship that you have with the people. So once the project's done, it's done, and you recognise that any arguments were purely just professional rather than.
But a lot of the arguments are usually just because we actually care about what we're making. It's like we actually want that point across because we believe that it could help, and you'll often have heated arguments and discussions with your friends, but it's not hatred or personal. Well, hope it isn't. But a lot of the time it's because it's just you're passionate about what you're doing and you want to get it right, and that's what it takes sometimes. It's a shout at people.
Yeah.
We don't
you
actually
learn it with time as well. It's just you learn sort of how people work, and you kind of learn what can, make someone feel really offended. You kind of think, how can I phrase it in a way that's not going to upset this person? I think it's more time. Literally, you work with people who initially it's great, and then it's not great now. But yeah,
working in a team is one of the hardest things you'll ever do.
Yeah,
because it's just the mechanics and the chemistry of it. Yeah, just aren't clear, and there is no sort of how to do that anywhere. You just got to try.
Cool.
Guess.
Yeah. Thank you very much. The girl on the end in the blue. Oh, okay. We'll do both of them. First we'll do you, and then we'll do. Yes. Yeah. Hello, and then we'll go in front. Okay.
Hi.
Hey.
Obviously, YouTube is quite an individual sort of and unique platform for putting films out there, and it's quite different to traditional filmmaking. Do you see it as an entry to traditional filmmaking, or do you think that it's going to remain separate for as long as it remains as
That's a good question.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the definition of tradition. I suppose.
Well, I think filmmaking is changing big time at the minute, and there's a lot of obviously the traditional ways you make a film, and then you've got to find the funding for it, and then you do the festival run, and then you've got to hope people like it, and then they'll be interested in maybe promoting it further or wanting you to do something else. But YouTube, you skip that. You literally you make it, you put it online, and then you automatically have this interaction that you don't get traditionally, and a lot of people don't usually. A lot of people don't like that. There's a lot of people in film who really shun the idea of YouTube. But I think it's a great thing.
I love
think that it's a very good way for you to, you have all this work, you have a whole portfolio online that you can literally send a link to someone who maybe you want to work with, say this is what I do, and it's there and they can see what you do. So I think it's a really powerful way to do it, personally.
I think the traditional people that shun it, I kind of don't understand it and are scared of it, because there are 14-year-olds who are making mega views and stuff online that some filmmakers are but I worked so hard using a Bolex to make that, and it's just so I like YouTube. If there's anything that we can end on with that question, it's that I like YouTube. Cool, thank you. So just in front there was two blues next to each other. It was difficult. Hello.
Some of the wacky characters, do you think them completely yourself, or are they ever based on people?
They're definitely not based on myself, because in fact that's what I enjoy so much about it. Like the fact that I can like slip into something else so easily is because it's actually nothing like me. Hey, wait, you did say characters, right? Good. Just making sure. Just before I answer this whole question that actually has nothing to do with what you asked. I love it because like you just give them dialogue that you wouldn't usually say. Like, for example, Wiggles the Clown is a clown that we created who's just like he's just like a down on his luck clown. He's just not getting the work. He's a bit crazy as well. I can slip into it and be something really weird and scary that I know that's just not me, and that goes for all the characters, I suppose. Like conductor, fly, all of them. Old man PJ, who is meant to be me, but still is nothing like me. So, only time will tell. only time will tell. When I'm old and decrepit, I might be all like, well, what does old man PJ sound like? I can't remember.
I don't know. You're old man.
I can't remember.
Well, he's American for a start.
Oh yeah, he's American for a start.
Supposedly.
Everyone always says, "Why is old man PJ American?" And like that. We don't know. We don't know what happens to PJ in the future. So
he's in some. We don't know where he is now.
No.
Really,
what was the last thing we saw him in? It was the elemental cookies. He is stuck in limbo apparently, but then he escaped. Actually, at the end we say he escaped.
He did escape. So yeah.
Cool.
We don't know where he is.
Yeah. So if you see him walking around the floor
right now,
just push him down a flight of stairs and hope that he falls into a portal. For people that haven't seen like too many of my videos, this is going to be this sounds really weird, but I'm just saying it like it is. So thank you very much for your question. In a bit? Can we go in a bit? So because like there are people kind of like in the middle of the of this, like there's a girl with a white t-shirt and some red sunglasses, I believe. Yes, no, you, there we go, with the red sunglasses. Yeah, if we pass the mic over, there we go.
Hello.
Thank you. Hello.
So, if obviously you have like a trademark sort of cardboard mise-en-scene stuff, but if you had the chance to up a budget and kind of Marvel movie sort of budget, would you like you ditch the cardboard?
So you're saying if I had infinite money, what would I do?
Probably yes.
Yeah, probably put the cardboard aside. Although I don't know, because like there are like larger budget films like The Science of Sleep that use like cardboard really creatively, and like I don't like it just because it's cheap. I like it because it actually looks quite interesting, because it immediately takes you out of like the real world slightly, and like if someone's using a cardboard gun, then you know that there's something different going on. It's not just a gun. It's some kind of mystical, magical gun that works by some other means and stuff. So.
Yeah, I suppose it would be bigger and better, wouldn't it? If you had an infinite supply of cardboard, then that could be a cool
I can only dream.
thing.
Yeah.
Although I suppose in terms of like going away from cardboard a bit, that's quite a topical question given what we're actually doing at the moment.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Do you want to?
Yeah. So because at the minute we're working on a film, and we're actually we're sticking to what we like, but we are trying to base it more like location based. So we're actually trying to find like a building to shoot in, like a very particular type of building, which won't involve making the walls out of cardboard. We really want to try and make this like a bit different, like, but still the same, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. So, all right, thank you very much for your question. Last question. Okay, this is the last question, so make it a good one. Purple hair, just here, with the purple hair.
Hello. How do you guys sort of deal with having difference in opinions on maybe a character or on the way you want to take a film?
Sorry, could you repeat the question?
How do you guys work as a team to work out your opinions on a character or the way you want to take a story if you all have like varying opinions?
How do we work that out? I think we just kind of like put all our ideas on the table and then kind of just start discussing the one that we naturally gravitate towards. Although, like Jamie was saying earlier, there's gonna be disagreements between you. You're gonna think, well, no, my idea is the only one that will work, and like it's just compromise and like just kind of thinking realistically about the time and everything that you have to make the film, and just there's loads of factors that decide on like what final things you go with. What do you guys think?
just discussion, really. Like, don't be afraid to sort of like get your opinion across. If you think, if it's you against like three other people, like it can be a bit intimidating getting your opinion across. But like, if you don't say anything, then obviously nothing will change. So like, it's just sort of understanding and sort of.
It's just knowing how to sort of argue your point, and in such a way that it's not confrontational, but that you can best explain why you think it should be that way. And then if everyone else agrees with you, then great, you've made your point. And if not, then you just have to sort of accept that and compromise.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. I was told we had an hour and 20.
I lied.
You lied? Why would you lie? Okay.
We went 20 minutes into our time. Okay.
Okay, well, we have to wrap that up there, but thank you very much for coming. We really hope that this was helpful in some way. Thank you very much. You've been a great audience.
Before everyone leaves, before everyone leaves, can you please make sure that there isn't a silver bag, like a goodie bag, underneath your chairs with a pair of keys, is that a set of keys, and a purse at all. A girl has left it in here. Thanks.
I was just going to say, if, like, I know I'll still be walking around outside, so if you do have questions you still want answered in terms of a group thing, just come and ask us, because obviously we don't have as much time as we thought, so just so you don't feel like you've missed out.
Yeah,
basically.
there's still time.
We like to chat.
Yeah,
but no,
cool.
thank you very much.
Thank you very much for all your questions and being so cool. Thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.
See ya.
Bye-bye.